So, who is Wings for Widows? What do we do? And why is our mission significant? The short answer is beneath our logo. We guide new widows to financial wellness. What does that actually mean? You might think of Wings for Widows as the emergency room for new widows and widowers where we treat financial trauma. If you experience a medical trauma at home, you likely visit the ER, right? You don't try to fix a broken arm at home. You go see a doctor, someone with experience, someone you can trust to take care of you. Likewise, when you lose a spouse, doesn't it make sense to get professional help? Of course, but it's not always available. Most of the clients that we work with don't have a financial advisor, an estate planning attorney, or any network of professionals. Where are you supposed to go? And who should you trust for help? And what about muscling through on your own? If you've never lost a spouse before, how could you possibly know what steps to take and what missteps to avoid? Where do you even start? As we like to say, when you don't know where to start, you start with Wings for Widows. We are the only organization in the country that provides trusted, experienced financial advisors, certified financial planning professionals, I know that's a mouthful, or CFPs, to treat the financial trauma affecting nearly all widows. Financial trauma could be the loss of income, loss of Social Security, moving into more affordable housing, or moving in with relatives, putting children into different schools, or even going back to work. And then there's that whole administrative side of loss, the mountain of forms and checklists. It's often overwhelming. Our expert coaches work with our widow clients for weeks and sometimes longer to help heal the financial trauma by providing pro bono financial planning. We address immediate concerns as well as provide financial clarity, as in, okay, this is my situation, here are my options, and now perhaps I can make some decisions. Financial clarity brings control, confidence, and peace of mind. Guiding widows to financial wellness is what makes Wings for Widows unique. And while it's not all we do, it's the core of what we do, because nobody else in the country is doing it. And we are honored and privileged to be doing it. So that's who we are and what we do. But to understand our significance, you must understand the widow crisis. Let me frame it up for you. Losing a spouse is the most stressful experience in a lifetime. Number one, top of the Holmes-Rahe Life Stress Inventory, as you can see, stress begets secondary stressors, and none of the consequences of stress are good or healthy. There are many myths surrounding widowhood. For example, when we think of a widow or a widower, we may picture an elderly person at the end of life. This just isn't the case. In fact, the average age of a widow in the US is just 59 years old. Nearly half had children living in the home at the time of loss. Death is indiscriminate, therefore, so is widowhood. Widows look like you and me and come from all walks of life. There are more than 15 million widowed men and women in the US. That's 7% of the American population aged 18 or older. And nearly 3,000 women join the widowed ranks every single day. It's almost unimaginable. In fact, if you've joined us tonight and you're married, there is a 70% chance that you will experience widowhood in your lifetime. So what is the crisis I'm talking about? Well, most studies have found that widowhood elevates the risk of mortality. The number of chronic conditions, nursing home days, physician visits, and healthcare costs increase more among widowed persons than among married persons. In fact, 33% are diagnosed with a new mental or physical health issue within 1 year of losing their spouse. And elderly, non-married women, including widows, remain at high risk of living in poverty. About 60% of elderly poor women are widows. So clearly, the deck is stacked against widows and widowers, yet there are not enough resources available to help widows navigate this incredible life change. It is unimaginable, but it's true. And that's why it's a crisis. And that's why Wings for Widows is significant. We are one of the few resources on the front lines, and we are the only free financial resource for widows.